Hello everyone, this is Zafar Abundance Wala and you're watching Global Abundance Organization GAO TV. And again, welcome back to the Abundance Show where we explore strategies and mindset that unlock human potential and global growth. Today's guest believes that foundation of truly abundant life begins at home. Monica Turner is a relationship expert, a certified coach, and the host of Secrets of Happily Ever After podcast. She is on mission to help couple move past the roommate syndrome and debunk the outdated marriage myths that keep people stuck. As the author of Bad Marriage Advice, Monica teach high achievers and couples how to build intimate friendship that fuels success in every other area of their life. Monica, it is an honor to have you on my show again. Welcome aboard, lady.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful to be here with you.
Again, I'll be diving deep into the questions. First is it's about high achievers connections.
Yeah.
On this show, we talk a lot about professional growth and scaling big ideas. In your experience, how does the health of a person's marriage directly impact their ability to lead organizations and secret and create a abundant mindset in their career?
Yeah, I mean, in so many ways, it's much easier to go and create and be creative and successful when you're getting support from home. It is much more difficult to try and create something, build something, lead something when you're being held down or held back, or you feel the combativeness of home. And so yeah, it is important for your family to have buy-in, to support what you're doing, to do what they can to give you the freedom and leeway and support that you need to build and to create. So also the attitudes of growth mindset and teamwork and working together is so important when you're trying to create anything. So yeah, I think home and family is really the foundation where you go to rebuild, refuel, remotivate, all of those things. So I find it's a very, very important part of success.
Thank you so much. No, my second question is about debunking the myths. Your book focuses on marriage advice. What is the most common piece of traditional wisdom, like never go to bed angry or happy wife, happy life, and that you believe is actually destructive to modern couple? And what should we do instead?
Yeah, so many of those. I mean, don't go to bed angry. I lost a lot of sleep in my life and in my marriage over that one. I think it's important that if you're tired or you're hungry or you're stressed, take a break, let it lie for a little bit and come back to it later. So go to bed angry is definitely what I would recommend. Happy wife, happy life. I feel like trying to create a relationship on one person's happiness is just an absolutely ludicrous idea. I like to offer happy spouse, happy house, where both of you are equally invested in the other person's comfort, happiness, joy, growth, abundance. So I like to say happy spouse, happy house. And then I think a really important one is learning how to an important foundational relational skill is learning how to make requests of your partner. So instead of showing up as the expert on relationships, that you know everything, and that if you if you knew anything or loved me, you would do these things. Just assuming that your partner knows what those are is really frustrating for a lot of people and creates a lot of pain and distress in relationships. So, and there's a lot of pieces of bad marriage advice that stem from that, like don't sweat the small stuff, or if they loved you, they would just know. I think learning how to ask for the things that you want in a way that your partner can hear and understand and want to do those things for you is so important. So I think learning how to make requests, learning how to deal with small disappointments, those things are all really relational and crucial to a strong, thriving, and abundant relationship.
Wow, thank you. Happy spouse, happy wife, happy house. Such a slogan. I mean, it's so fun. And this is so important. And I think all we married couples know the best of it. Sure, it is so. So next is about this. It's like from being polite to love, and then to intimacy and intimate friendship. My third segment is moving beyond the roommate phase. The question is many people, especially those busy with careers and children,
Mhm.
eventually find themselves living like polite roommates rather than romantic partners.
Yeah.
What is the first practical step a couple can take today to sit back towards an intimate friendship?
This is a great question. I think it's so important. And I was just coaching a couple last night, and we were talking about the importance of co creating your intimate life, co creating the experience that you're having together. And in order to co create something, you both have to have some input. You both have to have some opinions, a position, and oftentimes those positions will be at odds. You will have a different position as your spouse. And I think what so often happens is we drift into roommate syndrome because we find ourselves when we disagree or don't see eye to eye that doesn't go well. And so one of us or both of us ends up kind of self-abandoning, kind of giving in, placating, sweeping things under the rug so that we're not really giving ourselves, our opinions, our ideas room to grow in the relationship. And so, again, learning how to make requests, learning how to stick to your position. I think the first step is getting to know yourself. What do you want? It's reorienting yourself from a more selfish frame. And I know people are going to go, oh my gosh, no, the whole point of relationships is not to be selfish. However, I guarantee that on some level, your partner wants you to have a voice. Relationship demands democracy, meaning that both of us need to have an equal say and an equal voice in the relationship. Otherwise, it becomes very lopsided and resentment forms, and then that comes out sideways. And so you don't have a healthy, thriving, intimate, passionate relationship if one or both partners is stuffing down their real thoughts and ideas. So the first step would be to get acquainted with yourself. What do I believe? What do I want? What do I feel strongly about? What do I value? And then being able to bring that into the relationship.
Wow, I mean, I think Monica, this is one of the toughest of the questions. What do I want, or what do you want? I mean, when somebody asks me, I mean, it is very difficult for probably people to be honest about this. Like, I
Mhm.
mean, if you and as long as relationship is concerned, you don't want to lose the relationship at any cost. And this at any cost, oh my goodness, this is hell. You know, then you go to through the toxic relationship in my part of the world. Especially, we live for the kids, for mom and dad, and for the for larger family interests, and for others interest somehow or the other, and you never know what do you want, what do I want. In how, but how do you dig down if somebody, it's like lock. I mean, I become defensive if you ask me, as long as if my wife asks me, what do you want? So it'll be very difficult for me to stay honest.
Mhm.
And just because I don't want to lose the relationship, and just for the kids and everything. But I mean, there could be two things. One, I am cheating on her, or she's cheating on me. So the cheaters, yeah, they can't be honest. So this becomes very, very difficult. I don't know how do you dig this question out of the couples. Any,
And
I mean, how do you do this?
how do you get couples to be honest about what they
Yeah,
want?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it requires a lot of self-reflection, and sometimes it requires some trauma work and some, examining your beliefs and what you were taught. Like, a lot of us, especially women, were taught that a good woman is needless and wantless, that they're not loud about their voice and their opinion, and I think that ends up being very destructive. So, examining those beliefs, learning the root of it, and then having women and men strengthen the muscle of what is it that I want, what's important to me, and then learning how, starting with low stakes opinions, to voice that and to share that with their partner.
Okay. That, I mean, the tough things you are doing and digging down into the reality. Thank you so much for the insight. Again, the fourth question is leadership in the home. You recently launched a challenge focused on becoming a hero husband.
Uh-huh.
How can men apply the leadership skills they use in business to their family's life without making their partner feel like an employee or a
Uh,
project?
Yeah, that's such a great, great, great question, because a lot of time I work with a lot of very, very, very successful men, especially, but also women. And the reality is that a lot of the skill sets that are required to be successful in business are different than what is required in family life. So typically, we make a lot of money by solving problems, creating systems, organizing, controlling things, whereas in family life, those things are not valued, they're not helpful. Sometimes in family life, the main predominant skill is just to be present, just to be understanding, just not to try and solve anything, but to be present with the chaos. And that is difficult for a lot of successful people who go to work and people say, "Oh my gosh, you're so amazing. You solve all these problems. You make all this money. You're so powerful." And in family life, you go home and your partner expects you to change diapers and take out the trash, those really powerful, influential skills are not valued in the same way. And so it is learning how to be present and to be of service.
I mean, when you get home and from an executive, you get a tie, and when your wife asks you to change diapers or help her in the kitchen or so everything, you become boss and everything. I mean, the different hats. It's about having different responsibilities set. So isn't it difficult for both of you if you both are professionals, and how to create the balance then?
Yeah, well, you've gotta learn a different set of skill sets. You've got to learn to come home and just be present in the chaos, to look at each other across the room and say, "I'm here with you, right? This isn't gonna last forever," and to just enjoy and support each other. It's a different, you're not having, meetings and creating PowerPoints and solving problems. You're really just being present in the chaos and enjoying the developmental stages of what it's like to be at home with little people that you can't control. They don't care how much money you make or what your position is. They just are developing and learning, and you just get to witness.
Wow. Okay, Monica, before our birth or when we were young, even me, like, I mean, I'll talk in like 1970s or like 60, end of 60s or 60s, before our birth. The world was about responsibilities. Men were talking, they were caring about their responsibilities, women for them. But later in like 70s, there were some books on human rights and the women rights, and then it all started my rights instead of responsibilities. Like, if when man and wife, my if I'm husband, my responsibilities are my wife's rights, and wife's responsibilities are husband's right. So earlier we were talking about the world was talking about responsibilities, and like my duties, and everybody was thinking like that. But after, if you know, this cut, the red line is in 70s, 1970s. After that, the world has started about talking about the right, my right, although it's one same thing. But I mean, it has made it very hard, and the family structures are boggling down, and it's just going down the drain, everything. So can you have your say on, what if we go, do we have to go back to basics, and we have to, or like still we are there, but I mean it, or is it me who's looking the things from the wrong angle?
I think there's a difference between individual empowerment and relational empowerment. So, yeah, I mean, I think things culturally have swung in a direction that is, I was weak and now I'm strong, and now I'm going to just, walk all over everything and take up my rights, versus I was weak, now I'm strong, and I'm going to stand toe to toe with you and co create something good for both of us. So I think the world is shifting towards relational empowerment, and I think that's a very important pendulum swing.
Okay, cool. That's fantastic, satisfying one. Thank you. Okay, this section is about abundance of connection. As my, I am on a mission to unleash abundance of health, wealth, and happiness for the entire globe, for
Mhm.
all citizen of this planet Earth, and me too. So I find you aligned also, just because what you are doing is abundance of relationship. Until and unless there's no abundance in relationship, and if we are focused on scarcity only, the problems keep coming in and dropping up. And but abundance of connection, this is what I mean, I want your views on. Our theme is abundance. Often people view intimacy as an infinite resource that gets drained by stress. How can couple flip that script, that and make their relationship a source of energy and renewal, rather than another to do on their list?
Yeah, that is such a great question and such a great thing to think about, because when we view intimacy as something on our to-do list or an obligation, duty, something else that we have to that is required of us, we do tend to see it with a lot of scarcity. To me, intimacy is a place where we go to get taken care of, to recharge and to refuel and to give each other, to be able to create. Uh, so I believe it's just a mindset, and being able to really dig into our beliefs and our ideologies, and practice seeing intimacy, and co-creating an intimate relationship where it is some place where we can go together to be renewed, that creates energy for us, that yeah, taps into that power, that creative energy that we all have within us. So yeah, it's about learning the skills having the right mindset, and then showing up in that space.
Great, great learning from your end, Monica. You've you're deep into the research on couples and intimacy, and you're making like happier ever after. It's very romantic before marriage things, and the couples, and just because all movies of the Hollywood or Bollywood or whatever you see, they are all before marriages, and nobody talk about after marriage. All romantic romance happens before marriage, in college life, in universities, and in the working space, but it's all before marriage. And I've seen a couple of movies after marriage. But what you're doing is, uphill task. It's very easy to talk to young couple in a college, university, talking about the intimacy, and just because they're all on receiving end. But you are working on the harder, on the other side of the border, which is very hard. What's been your challenges? What's the difficulty talking to these married couples, or those who are in relationship and living together? What are three toughest of the challenges, bringing the people to the table and convincing them to accept what they don't generally?
Yeah, I mean, I think the reality is that marriage is a dynamic, and we both bring, like, if you think about our lives or a marriage as kind of a closet, I bring my baggage to the closet, and my spouse brings their baggage to the closet, and a lot of what we bring is outdated ideas or beliefs, things that don't serve us, like clothes that just don't look good on us, right? And so uh, I see marriage as a people growing machine, and so a lot of creating co-creating that beautiful relationship is going into that closet and pulling out the clothes that do not serve us, the ones that don't look good on us and don't help us show up as the best version of ourselves. So the marriage dynamic, the longer a couple has been married without examining the things in their closet, the more like stuffed and full and hard it's going to be to go in there and find the things that are no longer serving the couple. And so that's what I do all day every day. I love working with couples. I love helping them go through their closets and really find the things that are going to help them win and succeed and co-create just a beautiful happily ever after life together. So I hope that's an okay visual, but it's really about finding what I brought to the marriage and what my partner brought to the marriage that doesn't serve our relationship.
Thank you so much for your time and knowledge and experience, that you are doing it for social cause. You just because you want the couple to lead a happier ever after life. And thank you so much for being on my show.
Of
And
course.
when are you inviting me on your show?
Eventually we will. We'll do that. Yes.
That's cool. And because I have also experiences in this regard, and I like to share, and I like to say burnouts from just what I have learned. Thank you so much. Just a, lighter side note. I mean, it's you just because I know your show is hardcore professionals show. You happily ever after podcast. Thank you so much for being on my show. See you soon again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Any advice you want to extend to the couples?
Advice to the couples, I would say, look at your relationship. If it's not as strong as you'd hoped, or you're not getting what you want out of it, definitely, you know, start to make changes. It takes a lot of courage um, and commitment to work to create what is actually nourishing and strengthening and passionate and intimate. And so take the first step, whatever that might be.
That means rewire your brain. See ya.
Yes,
Thank you so much, Monica. Great seeing you on my show, and I really I can't thank you for your time and effort you make my show better. Thank you so much. See you soon again. Bye bye.
Yep, bye-bye.